Root, baby. Root, baby, root. Mhm. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comments section. That would be groovalicious. So today's video will be the final chapter of Backtracks for the 2025 cycle. Years ending in the number 5, and the closest year we can get to the current year is 2015. Yes, these albums are 10 years old this year. Pretty amazing, some of these, when you think about some of these titles. You'll see why my mind is kind of blown that they're already 10 years old. So yes, this won't be the last countdown of the year, because I will have right around New Year's Day, I will be doing my favorite studio albums of 2025, so don't miss that. For those of you who like current music as well as past music. So anyway, you guys know the drill. My top 20 favorite albums of 2015.
Great Scott! I know, this is heavy.
Along with 5 honorable mentions. Let's just go ahead and jump right in. The 5 honorable mentions in alphabetical order by artist. First off, we have Stories, the sophomore album by Avicii, the late Avicii. It's not quite as good as his first album, True, but still excellent stuff. I was way into an EDM kind of a phase with this sort of stuff way back when, about 10 years ago. But only a couple of artists have stuck since then. I've gotten rid of most of the other ones. Avicii is one of those that just kind of stayed with me. I have not bought his posthumous album. I haven't listened to it. I kind of feel weird about posthumous albums unless it happens to be really, really good. I might check it out at some point in the future. But anyway, that's one of the honorable mentions. The next honorable mention, I am sorry it didn't make its way into the top 20. There was just too many good albums competing with it, but he is one of my absolute favorite vocalists, current vocalists, definitely. One of my favorite vocalists of all time, Seth MacFarlane. He is, you guys may know him as the creator of Family Guy, American Dad, The Orville, and Man of a Million Voices, and an amazing singing voice. If you have not heard his singing voice, check it out. This is his second album, I believe. No One Ever Tells You. The cover art, of course, is an homage to Frank Sinatra's In the Wee Small Hours. An excellent, a great visual tribute, but also a fantastic collection of songs. What I love about his albums, and I've said this before, is he picks songs that are not the same songs that you hear on, all the Michael Bublé albums and the Josh Groban and all that stuff. He picks songs that did not get a lot of exposure in the grand scheme of things. So yes, some great stuff here. The title track is excellent. Guess I'll Hang My Tears Out to Dry is fantastic. There was another one that was maybe it was on another one of his albums. It's the only thing about his albums is, since they're all the same genre, they might tend to blend a little bit together. But yeah, Spring will be a little late this year. Only the Lonely, that's not the Roy Orbison song. These Foolish Things Remind Me of You, a great collection of songs, and his voice is just absolutely flawless. Fantastic voice. It's like, is there anything that Seth MacFarlane can't do at this point? Number 3 on my honorable mentions list is an artist I've enjoyed her for quite a while. One of her albums was my favorite album of the year a couple of years ago. We're talking Marina and the Diamonds. She has since just taken on the name of Marina. This is her third album, I believe, Fruit. A great collection of songs again. Let's see. Forget, I think, was a really good song. Ironic that I can't remember if Forget was a really good song. It's been a while since I've listened to this particular album, being that I have been planning this video for almost 2 months, bear in mind. The title track is great. Happy is a good song also. Better Than That. So, again, a great set of songs by a great female contemporary pop vocalist. This next one, number 4 in my honorable mentions list, her name is Lucy Silvas, and this is her third album, Letters to Ghosts. Now, I had been aware of her before she put out, this was basically her first album that was put out in the States. She had some success before this in the UK and elsewhere in Europe as more of a contemporary pop vocalist. She actually did a couple of have kind of had a couple of big hits in the UK and elsewhere in Europe. But when she took a little break for several years, and then she came out with this album in 2015, and she went a bit more of the Americana, folkish type stuff, not quite full on country, but kind of Americana folk stuff, a little bit more of that sound into her music for this album, as well as her follow up album EGO. But yes, some great songs on this one. Yeah, I've got all four of her albums. Find a Way is a good one. How to Lose It All, really really good song. You Got It. She does a cover of the Roy Orbison song "You Got It" is the closing track on this. A great, great song. She does it as much more of a slowed down, quieter ballad arrangement. Excellent take on it. And the final album in my um, honorable mentions list is a guy that you probably have never heard of. His name is Charlie Winston, and this is his, I believe, third album, Curiosity. Yeah, Curiosity. And again, this guy is more. I think he's had his biggest fame, ironically, in France, but he doesn't sing in French. He sings in English. His sophomore album is fantastic. I absolutely love that album. That's my favorite of his albums. His debut album I found at some store here in the States. I can't remember where it was, but it was in the used racks. I had never heard of him before, picked it up, took a chance on him, and really enjoyed it. So this one, yeah, that's why this one is in the honorable mentions. Not nearly as good as his sophomore album. A bit of a disappointment from his sophomore album, but still lots of good songs on here. Say Something is a good song here. Another Trigger. Just Saying. Truth. Very good songs here. Great singer songwriter pop. Basically, is his style, I guess. A little hard to describe. Uh, anyway, that is it for the honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and move on to the ranked countdown. My 20 favorite albums of 2015. Starting off the list, number 20, Made in the AM by One Direction. Yes, I am a One Direction fan. I've got to admit. Of course, I love Harry Styles and Niall Horan's solo work. It's fantastic. But even the pop, their stuff as a group was just excellent. Undeniably catchy songs in all of their albums. This one was their last album as a group. They were minus Zayn had departed the group before, and the album before this, Zayn was gone. But still, some great songs on here. My two favorite songs are actually back to back here: "Never Enough" and "Olivia." Just absolutely love those songs. And let's see, there's some other really good ones. "Drag Me Down" was a good one. "What a Feeling" is a pretty good one as well. "I Want to Write You a Song" that was good. "Infinity," "If I Could Fly." But yes, a great album. Probably my least favorite of theirs. Probably. It's actually been a while since I've listened to all five of their albums, so I guess I should do that at some point. So anyway, number 19 on my list. This guy is usually ranked way higher on the list, but his albums by this point have. It's not that he's gotten worse as an artist. Maybe it's just that I'm kind of over him in a way. I'm still buying his albums as they come out. I haven't stopped buying his albums yet, but this one, possibly the last really really good album of his, in my opinion. Other people will probably have a different opinion as me, but Colin Hay, his album "Next to Your People" is my number 19 favorite album of 2015. The title track is excellent. It's a lament on the effects that climate change is having on not only uh, society in general, but on farmers and people who live by the land and live off the land and all that stuff. It was a very very poignant song. "If I Had Been a Better Man," that was a really good song. "Trying to Get to You," "Lived in Vain," "Scattered in the Sand," a great set of songs again by Colin Hay. This is like his 13th, 12th, or 13th solo album. So I suppose probably any artist, I would be start to get a little bit tired of them, a dozen albums in, maybe. So that's the only thing I can think of for ranking him so low on my list. But still, an excellent artist. If you have not checked out Colin Hay, check out his stuff. I'd say start with any random album. Just give him a shot. My number 18 favorite album of 2015, it is The New Old Fashioned by Straight No Chaser. This is an a cappella group. They've been around for quite a number of years, probably 15 or 20 years. And they've one of the few a cappella groups, aside from Pentatonics, that has gained some success on a major label. And this is one of their non-holiday albums. It's got some songs. The track list is a little bit dated. They've got a Charlie Puth song on there, Marvin Gaye, that opens up the album. They've got a medley of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, the Otis Redding song, and Proud Mary, the Ike and Tina Turner song. Take Me to Church, the Hosier song is, they do a great rendition of that one. Make You Feel My Love, believe that's a Bee Gees cover. And actually, they do a Charlie Puth song on there, but they also do I guess wasn't it Megan Trainor that guest vocaled on Marvin Gaye? Well, they also do a Megan Trainor song, all about that bass, and in parentheses, no tenors. So a little bit of a joke in the lyrics there. Shut Up and Dance, I can't remember their name, but my absolute favorite track on this album by a mile is the closing track, the movie medley. They do a medley of it's like a 7-minute song, I think, a medley of famous film themes, which are supposed to be they were conceived as instrumentals, but the guys put their own playful lyrics into the melodies, like they do. Oh, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, John Williams fan, obviously. Forrest Gump, Rocky, Titanic, a bunch of others, and the lyrics either describe the plot and or make a bunch of jokes about the movie. So you've got to listen to the movie medley by Straight No Chaser. It is so much fun. That is pretty much the only reason that this album is in my ranked countdown. I just absolutely love that song to death. Yeah. I could just go on about it, but suffice to say, a great album. Even without that song, it's still a good album. Number 17 on my list, not to make this video run on forever. Number 17 is No Peer Pressure by Brian Wilson, the late Brian Wilson now. Yes, an excellent album. It may be a little bit all over the place in terms of the sounds of the music, but I have to wonder if maybe that the title of the album, No Peer Pressure, maybe is kind of a comment on that. That, I guess maybe peer pressure from the music community would say, "Hey, your album needs to be all one style." That's just one possible interpretation of what the title means. But and obviously, Brian Wilson, Beach Boys, beach culture, no peer pressure, Pier. Obviously, it's a connection there. But yes, so many great songs, and he has got several guest vocalists on here. She and Him guest on the song On the Island. That's not one of my favorites on there. But Mark Isham, I believe he contributes instrumentals, not vocals, to the song Half Moon Bay. There's also the song Guess You Had to Be There, which is one of my favorites, featuring Casey Musgraves. So there's one. And actually, Al Jardine is on 4 tracks, 2 of them along with David Marks. And the song Saturday Night features Nate Ruess of Fun. But yes, so many good songs on here. This Beautiful Day is a great song. Don't Worry. Yeah, lots of good songs on here. And that's to me, that's one of the fun things about this album is that the songs take on several different styles. So yeah, he has a chance to stretch his legs and his musical palette, if you will, into several different types of genres. So good album. I really enjoy that one. Moving on to number 16 on my list of favorite albums of 2015, The Neighborhood by Troye Sivan. This was his debut album, and The atmosphere that this album produces, in my opinion, is more of a thing to remember the album for rather than individual songs. In fact, I have trouble remembering any of the songs, the lyrics and melody to any of the songs, particularly. But actually, the song "Youth" is great. Oh, and also, what's the one? "Lost Boy." I love that song. That is a fantastic, my favorite song on the album, "Lost Boy." But yeah, Betty Who, a fellow Australian artist, features on one track. Alex Hope is on another one. But yes, just he makes such an atmosphere on this album with this song, these songs. So that's what I'm trying to say. I can't remember anyway. I'm a little tired today, so maybe I shouldn't have done a video, but I really wanted to get this one out to you guys. So yeah, and making an atmosphere, a sonic atmosphere on an album is something that's hard to do nowadays, especially with the single culture. People just want to put out, the music industry at least anyway just wants to put out singles. It's hard to do an album, cohesive album, or at least one that's got a nice uniform sound that kind of pulls the listener in. That's what you'll get on this album. Bottom line, that's what I'm trying to say. Is It's an excellent album, and then that's why it's on this list, is the atmosphere that it creates. So Troye Sivan, Blue Neighborhood, and this next one had a little piece of lint attached to it. Then number 15 on my list, sticky notes so I don't lose my place, is an artist that I was into him way back when. Like, this is like 15, 20 years ago. Had a few of his albums. He fell off my radar for a long, long time, and just in the last few years, he popped back up onto my radar, and I've fallen back in love with his music. I'm talking about Matt Nathanson with his album "Show Me Your Fangs," and just the great musicianship and vocals and songwriting that I have come to expect from Matt Nathanson. A great selection of songs. Yes, he was on a major label for a few albums. Then he moved on to an independent. Well, Vanguard. It's kind of a semi-major, semi-minor, semi-independent label. But yes, what do we have here? "Gold in the Summertime" was a really good song. Uh, see, "Playlists and Apologies." That was a good one. And then the title track, "Show Me Your Fangs," and "Adrenaline." That was a really good one. But yes, some great, great stuff. This album, the only thing I didn't like about this album was I was enjoying it so much when I was listening to it the last time. It seemed to be over way too quick. So, but yeah, give a shot to Matt Nathanson if you haven't yet. He's well worth checking out. And actually, number 14 on my list is another artist that I was into. Got a couple albums of his way back then. I was about to get rid of a couple of his CDs into my trade-ins, shrinking um, shelf space on my collection. And I gave his album one last listen, and I thought I almost made a big mistake trading his album in. And since then, I just got way back into him again. We're talking Newton Faulkner, and this is his fifth album, I believe, called "Human Love." Again, a great album, a bit like oh shoot, what's his name? Jack Johnson. Just a little bit like Jack Johnson, a bit of a folky, indie folk rock kind of thing, I guess is the best way to describe him. But yeah, a great, great selection of songs on here again. I keep saying that. I sound like a broken record. Uh, "Get Free," the title track, is great. "Step in the Right Direction," "Passing Planes," "Shadowboxing," "Far to Fall," "Stay and Take" featuring Tessa Rose Jackson. A great collection of songs. I don't know why I keep saying that, because these are my top albums from this particular year. So, of course, they're going to have a great selection of songs. Anyway, when I get a little bit tired like this, I get to be in a bit of a whimsical mood. So bear with me. Number 13 on my list. Now, this was a huge surprise for me. This is an album of pop standards sung by another artist. Usually those albums rank fairly lower because they're not original material. But this one really took me by surprise. We're talking about Steve Tyrell, and this is his album, "That Love and Feeling." I've only gotten into Steve Tyrell in the last 3 or 4 years. Picked up a few of his albums. He was good, and I think I actually, like 5 years earlier, I picked up a couple of his albums. They didn't do anything for me, so I got rid of them. And then more recently, gave him one more chance. And this time he is stuck. But this album blew me out of the water, whatever I'm trying to say. And I had actually just found this album 3 or 4 months ago, just in time for preparing for the 2015 list. And I was in, I think this was at a thrift store. I was looking at it and then saw the date 2015. Ooh, a candidate for Backtracks. Just thought, oh, he's a candidate for Backtracks. He's never going to make the list. This is a fantastic selection of songs. For one thing, the song selections are a little bit different than your average pop standards album. These are more uh, soul and contemporary pop songs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. We've got Up on the Roof, was it the Drifters that made that song famous? And of course, the what could be called the title track, You've Lost That Love and Feeling, which he actually duets with Bill Medley, one of the original Righteous Brothers, who made the song famous. And that's another thing is the guest list on this album. Neil Sedaka, B.J. Thomas, Barry Mann, Chuck Level from the band Sea Level. But yes, he sings Be My Baby, Laughter in the Rain. Neil Sedaka guests on that track. And I think that might have been a Neil Sedaka song earlier. Chapel of Love, which that's a bit of an interesting twist because you usually never hear anybody but female artists covering Chapel of Love. But my favorite track on here is the last track, the bonus track, Hound Dog, on which Chuck Level guests. Those of you who may not know, there are two versions of Hound Dog, or two sets of lyrics to Hound Dog. There's the one that Big Mama Thornton made famous originally, and then there was, of course, the Elvis Presley version. Well, when he starts singing it, he sings the Elvis Presley lyrics, and I think, oh, okay, it's going to be boring because, hot take, I think the Elvis Presley version of Hound Dog is one of the most boring songs ever. I much, much, much prefer the Big Mama Thornton version. Well, when he gets to the second verse, he starts singing the lyrics from the Big Mama Thornton version. So he actually mixes the two sets of lyrics together. And he sings it at a slower pace than, the typical blues or blues rock or rockabilly versions of the song. But when he sings the chorus, the background singers sing "Hound Dog," so that "hound" sounds like a dog howling. That makes the song. That totally makes the song. Well, the lyrics do too. The blending of the two kinds of lyrics. But I know I'm going on way too long about this. But yeah, just like the movie medley made the Straight No Chaser album, this version of Hound Dog made this album. But I do like one more thing about this album: Steve Tyrell's voice. It's a bit more gruff and gravelly. Kind of reminds me actually of Dr. John's voice. That kind of, as I said, gravelly sort of New Orleans thing. He doesn't have a New Orleans drawl to his voice, but just the tenor of his voice, the timbre of his voice is unique for artists who sing these kinds of songs. So yeah, I don't, and now I'm talking all this about this album. I don't know why I don't have it higher in my list, but yes, that is number 13. That Love and Feeling by Steve Tyrell. Check it out. You've got to check it out. Number 12 on my list, here we have Communion, the debut album by Years and Years. Communion. Yes, I know how to say that word. But yeah, a great contemporary pop, electro pop sort of album. Love this one. In my opinion, their quality in their subsequent albums has kind of fallen off, but still, this is definitely their best album in my opinion. Let's see. Shine is a fantastic song. Eyes Shut, I really enjoy that one. King, I like that one. Desire. And there are probably several songs on here that I am forgetting right now. But yes, great, great pop. These guys really came out of the gate swinging. Yeah, as I said, not as fond of their more recent albums. Maybe it's just because this album was so good that, yeah, but still, an excellent contemporary pop album. Definitely one of my, one of my favorites of the year. Duh. Number 11, coming up close to the top 10. Number 11 on my list for 2015 is the self-titled album by The Secret Someones. You've never heard of these guys, have you? Yes, well, it's actually three. three women and a man, and at least two of them are related. But yes, this is a great album of contemporary indie pop. This is the only album that this group made, and I am so I hate that. I wish they should have made more albums. This one is so great. But yeah, some great catchy songs. Let's see. Uh, I Won't Follow, the opener. That's really good. Head First is a fantastic song. Check out Head First, as well as Dead Weight. Dead Weight is definitely the hardest rocking song on the album. But Chase Your Shadow, the closer, that's a fantastic song as well. But yes, very tuneful, great lyrics, uh, plenty of hooks in this album, but it's not pop. It's definitely rock. Um, but yes, it's hard to describe. I'm being a little bit tired. I have trouble describing, finding somebody to compare these guys sound to. But Hey Hey Honey is also a good song. But yes, Head First and Dead Weight are the two must-hear tracks off this album. Self-titled album by The Secret Someones. Fantastic and worthy of the number 11 spot on my list. Now here we go into the top 10. My top 10 favorite albums of 2015. Kicking off at the number 10 slot is Going Home by Leon Bridges. Yes, I love Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke is one of my favorite classic soul artists. So yes, this is definitely a true homage to Sam Cooke. Yes, Leon Bridges wears the Sam Cooke comparison on his sleeve, almost like what's their name again? I can't remember the guys that get compared to Led Zeppelin. The only thing I don't like about this album is some of the songs. They seem to not have as clear a, at least to me, as clear of a melody construction, verse, chorus, verse, as classic pop songs of previous years did. Like Better Man, it almost sounds like, it almost feels uneven and almost like he made the lyrics up as he went along. Just not a real even meter to the song. So that kind of bugs me a little bit. But his voice and the instrumentation is definitely classic Sam Cooke tribute all the way. But yeah, Smooth Sailing is a great song. Brown Skin Girl, Twistin' and Groovin', that's a great one. The title track, Coming Home. And yes, despite my complaints about Better Man, I do still love that song. I do still love that song. But yes, Leon Bridges, Coming Home, an excellent soul album, the best soul album of 2015, and my number 10 favorite album of 2015. Number 9, and this year seems full of artists that I checked out years ago, fell off of, and went back to. And this is one of those artists, John Newman. Absolutely loved his first album, which I think was called Tribute. And I actually found, for those of you who have this album, you've probably never seen it in a jewel case. This is, I believe, I got this one from the Netherlands. And yes, I had the Digipack version a long time ago. I don't like Digipacks. I prefer albums in jewel cases. So when I saw this one on eBay, hiding out there on eBay, definitely decided to pick it up so I could have them both in jewel cases. But yes, aside from the packaging, yes, no, that's the best thing about the album is the packaging. No, is of course he has an unmistakable voice. John Newman does, and he's been featured in a couple of as a guest vocalist on a couple of EDM artist tracks. So I've collected a few of those as well. But let's see, "Come and Get It" is a great track. Um, "Give You My Love," "Killing Me" is another great one. "Lights Down," "Never Give It Up," a great album. Yes, but it's the last, I believe it's the most recent album that he's put out. It's been 10 years, and I don't think we've gotten a John Newman album since then. And I miss him. I miss hearing his voice regularly. So hopefully he will eventually put out another album. I think I heard somewhere that he had problems with the music industry or with stardom or something like that, and had to take a break for some reason, for maybe for mental health reasons. I don't know. Anyway, Moving on with my countdown, my number 8 favorite album of 2015. Two artists that I appreciate and enjoy quite a bit separately. They joined forces for this album called So Familiar. Steve Martin and Edie Brickell. Yes, Edie Brickell of Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. They were popular in the 90s, and I've got like 7 of their albums, as well as a couple of her solo albums. And of course, Steve Martin is a wickedly talented banjo player. But yes, this is a fantastic album of progressive bluegrass, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's called progressive bluegrass, but bluegrass pop. Yes, she is primarily on vocals, and he is primarily on banjo. But yes, a great album. Uh, Folk bluegrass with a little bit of pop mixed in, as would be kind of you'd venture to guess by the combination of artists. But yes, some great songs on here. Always Will, way back in the day. I'm by Your Side. Right. Heart of the Dreamer, that was a fantastic one. Heartbreaker, Another Round. Yes, definitely a must hear. If you don't mind banjo in your pop music, give it a shot. And if you only know Steve Martin from his comedy, you will be blown away by his music talents as well. So yes, that is number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7 on my list is an artist you may not have heard of, and this is, I believe, their only major label album. I don't know if they put out any albums since then, but this is a duo called Black Violin, and this is their album Stereotypes. Now this is hip hop meets classical. Yes, despite you wouldn't think it works, but it works. Yes, these two gentlemen are not pictured in the but yes, classically trained violinists who obviously have an appreciation of hip hop. There they are. I cannot remember their names at the moment, but yes, exquisite violin playing, as you could probably imagine. I believe they went to Juilliard. I may be mistaken on that, but yes, a few different guest artists from the hip hop and R&B community on this album. The title track is a commentary on how we perceive people based on stereotypes that we sometimes have stuck in our heads. Very good commentary on social issues. But yes, some great songs. The whole album is excellent. Invisible featuring Pharaoh Monch. Stay Clear featuring Robert Glasper. Walk On By, which I believe is a adaptation of the classic pop standard that Dionne Warwick made famous. Um, but yeah, a great set of songs on here. Definitely give this one a listen. If you like to have your perceptions of um boundaries between music genres challenged, check this one out. Stereotypes by Black Violin, a must hear from 2015. Number 6 on my list is a Canadian group. Canadian. Actually, I do have two actually artists from Canada ranking higher on this list. But so yeah, 3 Canadian artists in my top 10. How about that? This one is Marianas Trench with their album Astoria. This is the only album of theirs that I have, at least right now. But of course, being a Goonies fan, the aesthetic of this album, as well as the title, Astoria is the town here in Oregon, an Oregonian, another connection, the town in which the movie The Goonies took place. And of course, I love the back cover art. Uh, Massive tribute to the Goonies. I love it, and great songs as well. This is, I think I mentioned, this is the only Marianas Trench album I have thus far, but it makes me want to check out the rest of their stuff. There is one song on here I forgot to check back and remember which one it was. Fantastic pop song. I mean, this is mostly rock more than pop, so to speak. Indie rock more than pop. But there's one that's pretty much a full-on pop song that I really enjoyed. Was it While We Were Young? Or is it Wildfire? Somewhere around there. I really enjoyed that one. Probably my favorite track on the album. But the entire album is excellent. Forget Me Not, Dearly Departed, Shut Up and Kiss Me, Yesterday. Yes, if you have not tried Mariana's Trench, well, of course, if you ask me, I'm going to say this album, of course, because it's the only one I've tried. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Definitely my number 6 favorite album from 2015. Okay, we are in the top 5. Kicking off with number 5, a perennial favorite artist of mine. He's probably going to be in my top, actually, except for this most recent year. I don't think his album made it into my top 20. Now that I was about to say that, but we're talking Mika, a British artist who's most popular in France and Italy now. But yes, this is his 4th album, I believe. No Place in Heaven, an excellent set of pop songs as well. Um, All She Wants is a great one. Good Guys. The title track, No Place in Heaven, is fantastic. Um, Staring at the Sun, Last Party, and this is actually the Japanese edition. There's the obi strip there, and it's got the stuff that's on the deluxe version of the album, along with an additional 3 bonus tracks. So we're talking 18 tracks on here, and all 3 of the bonus tracks, actually 4 of the bonus tracks, are in French. So yes, he does like to cater to his French fans as much as he can. But yes, an excellent set of songs. Not my favorite Mika album, but still an excellent album. Uh, Earns its place in the top 5 of my list for 2015. Now, number 4 is kind of like with the Secret Someones. These guys made just one album. I have regretted it and resented it ever since that they didn't make another album. And I don't know how I found out about these guys, but I am so glad I did, despite being angry that they never put out a second album. It's a duo called Striking Matches, and this is their album, Nothing But the Silence. Fantastic stuff. It is country pop, basically. And I later learned that these two wrote several songs for the TV series Nashville. So they have continued in the music business. They're just not recording right now. Darn it. But every song on this album, in fact, I don't know why I don't have this one higher than number 4. It is just so good. Nearly every song on this album is fantastic. Make a Liar Out of Me I love it. The title track, Trouble Is As Trouble Does. It's got a bit of a faster paced country beat to it. When the Right One Comes Along, What a Broken Heart Feels Like, Miss Me More. I mean, and that's like half the track list. This is just a fantastic album. If you like country pop, and probably if you like the songs that they played on the TV series Nashville, give these guys a try, because these guys are the guys who wrote them. A man and a woman, I say guys, but yes. And one of the big reasons I love this album is the vocal harmonies. I love male female vocal harmony, and this one has it in spades. It is just absolutely fantastic, well deserving of the top 5, a top 5 place in my list of 2015 albums. Uh, in fact, probably going through these next 3, I'll wonder why I didn't put this one higher. But anyway, moving on to number 3 in my list. This is one of my perennial favorite artists. They're probably going to have an album in the top 10, probably any year they put out an album. Bare Naked Ladies with their album Silver Ball. Of course, fantastic stuff, as they always do. I love their early years more, like the first half-ish of their career. I love more. And it doesn't really have anything to do with the fact that Stephen Page left the group. It just happens to be, and again, maybe it's, the Colin Hay syndrome. Maybe I've just, so many albums in, they start to, I start to, the dopamine reaction wears off a little bit as I go on through albums. But yes, Duct Tape Heart is one of my favorite songs on here. Here Before, fantastic. Say What You Want, Narrow Streets, Tired of Fighting With You, I think is a good one. The title track, Silver Ball, Get Back Up. But yes, a selection of great songs, as Bare Naked Ladies almost always come up with. Yes, as I said, I love their early albums more, but this one is still this one's still a winner. Absolutely, definitely. My runner-up for favorite album of 2015. This one kind of surprised me. It is a a covers album, and yes, I usually rank these lower, but this person's voice is just absolutely wonderful. My sister got me into her stuff. She had like 5 or 6 of her albums in her collection that I inherited from her, and I just kind of built my collection from there. I don't have all of her albums, but I have a good number of them. But this one is a different, kind of a bit of an anomaly in her discography. We're talking Diana Krall with her album Wildflower, my number 2 favorite album of 2015. This one covers much more contemporary songs from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You've got California Dreamin' from the Mamas and the Papas, Desperado, the Eagles song. Oh gosh, I can't tell you why, which is was that Eagles also? I can't remember. Sorry seems to be the hardest word. The Elton John song. Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels, which is 10cc. No, oh no, Jim Croce. I'm Not in Love is 10cc. That's right. Which is on here. And then you've got Don't Dream It's Over, the Crowded House song. Big Crowded House fan. One of my favorite albums of the 80s. So yeah. And she has Michael Bublé and Bryan Adams, 2 fellow Canadian artists, guest starring on the album, as well as Blake Mills. And this is the complete sessions, which has like 6 or 7 bonus tracks on it. So, yes, I was mentioning just the main tracks on the main part of the album. But yes, an excellent album by Diana Krall. Yeah, possibly my favorite album of hers. Don't know if it's critics' favorite because it's not her usual repertoire, but still, I really enjoyed that one, and that's the reason why it is my number 2 favorite album of 2015. But there was one that ranked higher, and this is another one of my perennial favorite artists. Almost guaranteed a slot in my top 10 whenever they put out an album. We're talking Duran Duran with Paper Gods. That is my number 1 favorite album of 2015. The only thing I hate about this album is it started the trend, which is fairly common now, of no track listing on the back of the packaging. Stop doing that. Yes, especially in the last couple of years, artists have been doing that more and more often. But yep, there's the full panoramic version of the cover art. So yes, I had to keep the booklet in a handy place so that I could go over the track listing. Stop not putting track listings on the backs of albums. But yes, Pressure Off, the main single featuring Janelle Monáe and Nile Rodgers. Fantastic song. One of the best songs they've ever done. Last Night in the City. You Kill Me with Silence. That's a really great track. Dancephobia, that one's okay. Sunset Garage, or as in North America we would say Sunset Garage, but in the UK it's Sunset Garage. Change the Skyline, Butterfly Girl, What Are the Chances? A fantastic array of songs on this album, and yes, harkens back to the classic Duran Duran sound, and that is why it is my number 1 favorite album of 2015, Paper Gods by Duran Duran. So, how's that for my 2015 countdown? I hope you found some surprises, some stuff that you were hoping to see was in here, and maybe you'll get some ideas for listening to stuff that you've never heard of. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you like it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. I would love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, and hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.